it's me, Blanche, and welcome to Feast in the Middle East, where I share with you easy Middle Eastern recipes. And I cannot believe it's that time of year again, where everybody's running around like a chicken with their head cut off, going shopping, going to parties. But for me, it's all about baking. I love baking. It's a way for me to de-stress. It's a meditative exercise for me. And I love giving bread away to people. But sometimes even when I'm shopping and I smell bakery bread and it's cold outside, I'm tempted. I'm so tempted to buy what's in that bakery. So a friend of mine, one of you viewers, one of you feasters, Manuel in LA, he mentioned this delicious chocolate zucchini bread that he absolutely loves in a bakery that he goes to. And I wanted to show you a lighter way to do it. And I can't wait to share these ingredients and how easy it is. It's just, everything is done in the food processor. If you don't have a food processor, you could use a whisk. However, I am going to really break down that zucchini so that you can't even see it. That's right. I make a zucchini bread where you can't even tell there's zucchini so that kids who don't like zucchini will eat it. So let's get started. I'll show you exactly how we're going to make this happen. So we're going to start with 2 fresh eggs. This zucchini looks kind of funky, and I'll tell you why later, but about a cup of grated zucchini or cored out zucchini. I have a 1/4 cup of coconut oil, which is my favorite way to add fats to my baked goods because it's a whole food fat. I have 1/2 cup of Greek yogurt, which is another great replacement for oil. It offers protein and makes the bread very moist. As far as the dry ingredients, there's 1 cup of flour. You could use any kind of flour you like. I have 1 cup of coconut sugar. You could also use date sugar, which is another great whole food sweetener, and 1/2 cup of cocoa powder. And as far as the leaveners, the things that's gonna make the bread rise, I have 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder and 1 teaspoon of baking soda. And I have a little bit of vanilla just to make the bread taste that much better. So let's start with the food processor. The reason why the zucchini looks kind of funky is in Arabic we call this libbet el kusa. So we make a dish where we take the mahshi or kusa or zucchini, we core it out, we fill it with rice, and we cook it. Oftentimes, many people wonder, what do I do with the inside of the zucchini that I've just cored out? But I like to just add it to the zucchini bread, so I'm just gonna use the cored out part of the zucchini for this. You can substitute pumpkin, so you could use about 1/2 cup of pumpkin if you don't like zucchini, okay? And so we're gonna take the coconut oil. This is a 1/4 cup of coconut oil. I discovered early that Greek yogurt does a phenomenal job of replacing oil. You would be amazed. Each tablespoon of oil has 120 calories of pure fat. This is all protein, and it makes the bread rise, and it's so moist and delicious. It's like, why should you add that extra fat if you don't need to? And here's my teaspoon of vanilla. And let's crack those 2 eggs. I love how easy this is, especially if you're in a rush. If you've got out-of-town guests or you've got guests stopping by, surprise guests during Christmas time, this is a great bread to make them on the go, and you won't be rushed. So, are we gonna put this in our food processor like this? Let's make sure there we go. And we are going to process this until the eggs are almost frothy. Okay, let's do this. Now with a quick bread, it's very important to not overmix the dry and wet ingredients together. So while I blended the eggs really well so that it makes the bread moist, when it comes to adding the dry ingredients to it, I'm just gonna pulse it until it's just mixed. Otherwise the bread will become tough. So here's the 1 cup of flour and the 1 cup of coconut sugar. And coconut sugar is not as sweet as regular sugar. Be aware of that. If you like a super sweet bread, by all means add regular sugar. And then 1/2 cup of cocoa powder. And then let's add the rising agents, the baking soda and the baking powder. I love quick breads because they're so easy. You don't need any yeast. You don't have to wait for the yeast to rise. You just add the baking soda and baking powder and you are good to go. And now we're just gonna kind of pulse it a little bit at a time. Scrape the edges to make sure it's all incorporated. So I think the edges look pretty well incorporated. I'm just gonna pulse it a couple more times and we're gonna be done. So that's it. How easy easy was it to make this bread? Next time you're tempted at a bakery and you know that their slices are like 400 or 500 calories a slice, make this instead. You know you're using the best ingredients. It won't set you back more than 200 calories a slice for about maybe 10 servings. So I'm just gonna be lazy, okay? I'm just gonna use coconut oil spray, like that. Make sure you line your pan. I don't even have to put flour. It'll pop right out just if I use spray alone. Coconut oil is great. You could also butter it. You could add any kind of fat that you want to your pan. All right, now we're gonna pour it into the bread pan like this. See, look at how beautiful. It looks like brownie batter. And you cannot tell that there's zucchini in there, which is really good because if you have kids that don't like zucchini, they cannot tell. I know you guys are thinking, well, why doesn't she lick the spoon, right? You want me to lick this spoon, don't you? I want to lick this spoon too, but you know, it has raw egg in it, so it's not such a good idea. If I made an eggless bread, maybe I would, but I just don't feel like getting salmonella right now. Why not just toss some chips? You know, chocolate chips make everything taste better. If you don't want too many calories, you could use a mini chocolate chips. A little goes a long way, so let's just drop it. Look at so pretty. And what we're gonna do is put this in the oven at 350 degrees for about 45 minutes. Make sure you check on it regularly with a toothpick after 45 minutes to make sure it doesn't overcook, because you don't want the bread to overcook. So, since I already made a loaf, I can show you what it looks like. Ta-da! Look at that! Can you tell that there's zucchini in this? Look at this, look at the texture. It's beautiful, it's spongy. I like the top, it looks like it has a nice sheen to it. It's super moist. It has vegetables in it. It has all the food groups in it, so you could just eat this as a meal. I love this with breakfast because it's not too sweet, with a cup of tea and some fruit, and I'm done. It has protein in it because it has Greek yogurt in it, right? So, and it also has eggs in it too. So it's a great breakfast treat. It's great for snacking, great for giving away. You can make multiple loaves and give them to your friends. And don't put too much of a burden on yourself this holiday season. Take it easy, meditate, don't expect too much of yourself. Make it all about the people that you love and not the stuff that you buy, and make it about baking. It'll really relax you. Subscribe to my channel and I will show you how. All you have to do is click on that little button and join me on social media, on Instagram and Twitter at Blanche Media, BlancheMedia, as well as Facebook at Blanche's Feast in the Middle East. Until next time, Sahtain, Merry Christmas, take care of yourself, be safe, and eat lots of bread.